Welcome guys. Today we'll be doing complex number. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. We'll be looking at the Cartesian form of the complex number where we have A, which is the real, and B, which is the imaginary. Let's look at this example. We're going to find the roots of this equation. It can't be factorized, so we have to use the formula minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. For the quadratic, we need a, which is 1, the coefficient of x squared, b, which is negative 2, the coefficient of x, and c, which is the constant. So we'll be substituting into the formula. So as you can see, we have A being replaced. So you have 1 being substituted in the position where A should be. Then we're going to substitute B. Now B, we're going to replace it in 2 places. So here you can see B being replaced, where you have minus 2 squared. And where we have negative b, we have it as minus 2. Now c, which is the constant, we'll be replacing it in 1 place. So here you're going to see that we replace c at the end, and that's what we have as c. Now I'll be simplifying this further because we're solving the equation where we're finding the roots. The roots are the x values. So this is what we have here. That's what we're working on to simplify. So negative times negative gives us the positive 2 that you're seeing here. Now we're going to move to what we have below the square root. So squaring the negative 2, we have positive 4. Then we're going to work with what we have, minus 4 times 1 times 2. That's a negative 8 underneath the square root sign. Now below in the denominator, we multiply 2 times 1, so that's the 2 times 1 to give us 2. Now our next step is to simplify further what we have below the square root sign. Now 4 minus 8, that's what we're going to look at. So 4 minus 8, that gives us a negative 4 that you're seeing below the square root sign. Now negative 4, we can split it so it becomes negative 1 times positive 4. So that's what I'm doing right here below the square root sign, where I change negative 1 times 4. Now we can split this square root of negative 1 and times the square root of 4 is the same thing as root negative 1 times 4. So all I'm doing is splitting, so this big square root, it becomes square root of negative 1 times square root of 4. So having this split, we are going to rewrite the square root of 4 because it can't be simplified. So as you can see, the square root of 4, we have it as 2. So having this now, we can even simplify this further, where we can divide 2 into 2. So the 2 in the denominator divide the 2 in the numerator, as you can see the purple line. It goes 1 time, and 2 cancels the next 2 with the red line, so we're just left with the square root of negative 1. Now, if we have a quadratic, x squared minus 2x plus 2, where if we're going to solve this, we'll use a formula because it can't be factorized, and we will get 1 plus or minus the square root of negative 1. Now, something to note is that when we have this j is the same thing as the square root of -1. We also know that if we have j squared, then we have to keep in mind that j squared is -1. So with that being said, it means that this the roots of this quadratic are 1 plus or minus g, which is 1 plus g, and 1 minus g. Thanks for watching, guys.